Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Purple Penny coin news video. We're pre-recording this video because my parents are moving house and I need to go and help them shift some furniture today, so it means I'll be out of the shop while Catherine's stuck here doing all the back office stuff. So it's early on Monday morning and I'm getting this done so that you've all got something to watch this week. So this week in the shop, last week in the shop, the last 2 weeks in the shop have probably been our busiest weeks ever in terms of buying and selling. We've been getting some pretty interesting stuff coming in the front door. We got a huge decimal collection last week, and then there was a lovely group of notes and a florin collection that we bought last week as well. Probably seen some of the florins up on our Facebook page if you follow us on Facebook, and the notes will be appearing on our website over the next week or two. There's been some good ones in there, some good notes that we've sent off to PCGS for grading, so they'll be back in 6 months or so, but it's always nice to see some quality numismatic items. The florin set was particularly nice, probably the nicest florin set that we've seen. No uncirculated early dates, which you'd always love to see, but lots of coins with a lot of detail left on them, which is not often seen. So let's just jump into the news. So just reiterating, there's not going to be any retail releases from the RAM in May. There's only investment silver and gold products being released. Interestingly, in the news this week in South Australia, some people had been arrested up in South Australia's mid-north for distributing counterfeit $50 notes. So, obviously if you're going to counterfeit a note, you want to counterfeit a note that's worth counterfeiting, and $50 notes, I believe, are the most commonly counterfeited notes in Australia, and the notes that were being passed off, I believe, had troubles with the hologram, and obviously they didn't have certain security features, and 2 gentlemen were arrested for trying to distribute them. So do be careful if you receive a lot of $50 notes from someone, and just make sure that they're all real. As we covered a couple of weeks ago, ATMs have features in them to prevent them from distributing counterfeit notes, so you should be okay there. Those of you who watched last week will remember we talked about the 1967 fantasy pattern swan/goose dollars that were sold via the Australian Coin Review magazine. We mentioned the three types of coins that you could get. You could get a silver proof, a silver uncirculated, or a gold example. The gold examples, from what I understand now, were released due to public demand. They weren't originally going to release the item in gold. Alex Birkin, who's a regular watcher and friend of ours here in Adelaide, he tracked down some information for us, which was fantastic. But when he told me the information, Catherine went, "Oh yeah, I know that," and went and got a book and found it in about 4 seconds, because she's a bit of a guru on the goose dollars. So they were originally released for $145, including packaging and shipping, which for 40 grams of 22 karat gold seems quite a reasonable price. I'd certainly be happy to buy all of them at that price these days. As I've said, it's been very busy in the shop. I don't really have much to show you here. I've forgotten to bring it in with me this morning. Just as I said, a lot of pre-decimal notes, pre-decimal coins, and then a great big pile of mint product dating from about 2018 to present day, which we're slowly working our way through. I have been, as usual, keeping my eye on social media during the week just to see if anything's been going on. I guess, just sort of, I get a feel that sales online are subdued, and that I guess the variety of product is quite it's not very diverse. There's lots of recent mint product and mint mark $2 coins, and just sort of the same old. There certainly doesn't seem to be the interest in it in that there was 6 months ago. Now, you probably all know that JobKeeper finished a few weeks ago, and I wonder if that hasn't taken a bit of money out of the market and taken a bit of the heat out of the market. Certainly we're not seeing any particular problems in here, but we try to sort of sell a lot of diverse things, and if you're buying off of Facebook and you see 8 people selling the same items, it's not very exciting for people. So do keep an eye on our website. We do have some interesting stuff that we put up from time to time. Oh, I've just noticed a spelling error in the slide. What an amateur. Subdued social media medial sales. So never mind. So this week I wanted to just talk to you about a question that we get asked reasonably often in here, and I'll have to apologise if I cover this subject once or twice a year, but it's worth revisiting. We get questions from people who say, "Oh, I've got X coin, a 2012 red poppy C mint mark, or a coronation C mint mark, or whatever it happens to be. Should I get it graded?" And our answer is, how do you know if your coin is a good one or not? And that's really what it comes down to with current mint product. If you're going to get current mint product graded and you don't look at a large number of the same coin, you have no idea whether the coin that you have is a good one or a bad one. And you can't compare it to a $2 coin in a folder to $2 coin from circulation. You can't even compare a 2019 mint mark $2 coin to a 2018 $2 mint mark coin, because they're made at different times, and the mint's doing different things and different operators and whatever. So if you're thinking about, you've got a bunch of police mint mark coins, or you've got one, or you've got two, and you're thinking about getting it graded, the best thing I can suggest is to look at a lot of police C mint mark coins and get a good idea of what a good one or a bad one is. We very rarely send modern coins to get graded. When there's a new $2 release, sometimes we'll pick out 3 or 4 to get graded, but we go through all of the coins that we receive to pick those 3 or 4 coins. We don't just pick the first 3 or 4 off of the top of the pile. And we have had new releases where we haven't said any because they're terrible. So what coins do you get graded? The good ones is what it comes down to. And by good, I mean the highest grade, best quality ones, not the hot products. I don't think getting a hot product graded without any conception of whether it's a quality coin or not is particularly worthwhile. So I thought today what we would do is just look at what third-party coin grading is. So third-party coin grading is basically getting your coin evaluated by a company who will grade the coin according to their standards, usually to the US Sheldon scale. I should say that all of the well-known grading companies are currently in the USA. The reputable ones in the USA that I would be happy to use are NGC, PCGS and ANAX. There has been from time to time Australian coin grading companies, and they've varied from not bad to terrible. The issue with an Australian company grading coins is independence. The volume of coins that gets graded in Australia isn't enough to, I suspect, even support one person full time. So as a consequence, all of the grading companies that have been active or are active here in Australia invariably end up selling coins too, and then obviously they lose their independence then. Now, to be fair, NGC and PCGS, I believe, did start as coin selling companies and then morphed into coin graders. But these days they've pretty much they've divested themselves of all their coin selling businesses, and as such, when you send them a coin to get graded, they grade it according to their standards and send it back to you. If it's going to be gradable, they'll send it back to you encapsulated in a plastic holder. They don't care whether it grades uncirculated or MS70 or AU58, or they'll grade it according to their standards. Now, obviously, if I, it's human nature, and here in the Purple Penny, we do our level best to prevent this from happening. What we do when we buy a coin, and I'm just looking for a coin here. Here we go. Got a 1932 florin here. We bought this last week, and the gentleman that we bought this off of, it was the 1932 florin. I graded that coin when I bought it, and I paid him a portion of catalogue value. And then when I priced the coin up, I regraded it, and I made sure that the grades, because I wrote all of it down, I made sure the grades were the same. Now, it's human nature to want to buy a coin at a lower grade and sell it at a higher grade, because that's a good way of padding out margins. But here at the Purple Penny, we try to grade scrupulously, honestly, and apply a fair margin to when we buy and sell things. Now, not all coin sellers necessarily operate the same way, so as such, you as a coin buyer might want to buy a coin that is graded by a third party, because it's difficult for a coin dealer to dispute the grade, even though they absolutely do. How much does it cost to get a coin graded? $30 plus shipping and handling, so it's $30 plus per coin. So, if you're getting your police C mint mark coin graded, and it costs you $15 or $20, you bought it at release price of $15, or you bought it on the secondary market for $20 or $25, and then you get it graded, you're probably looking at having $60 to $70 sunk into the value of that coin before you've even got it back. And getting coins graded doesn't always add value. It might come back as a lower grade, in which case you're going to lose money. It might come back damaged. So getting coins graded is not a sure road to riches, which some people don't quite understand. But people try that anyway. And when you send it away, it takes 3 to 6 months. Now, how do you actually do it? My suggestion is that you use Eric at Drake Sterling Numismatics. He will submit coins for you and send them to America and take care of everything for you. You can join up yourself, but submitting them is sort of a bit of a form-filling nightmare. Now, what coins would you get graded? Now, this is a bit more interesting. Well, why would you get coins graded? There's five reasons there that I would get a coin graded. To preserve and protect a coin. So, once a coin is in a PCGS slab, it is fairly well protected from mechanical damage, from greasy fingers and drops and edge knocks and things like that. So, if you have a historic coin that you want to preserve and protect, then that could be a reason to get it graded. If you have a key date coin, so the coin that I'll just go back to here is a 1932 florin, a key date coin, commonly counterfeited coin, very commonly counterfeited coin. You might get that graded if you bought it at the right price to provide people with assurance that it is a real 1932 florin. You might do the same with a 1938 crown or a 1923 halfpenny. Or perhaps Mexican colonial 8 reals, things like that are commonly counterfeited. Third reason there is assurance of grade. So this comes back to buying coins at a particular grade and selling coins at a particular grade. You might decide that your 1932 florin, which you bought as VF, and you're happy that it's VF, that you're going to get that graded, and sink $50 or $60 into it, knowing that when it comes time to dispose of the coin, whether it be next week or in 10 years' time, that the grade is assured, that you're not going to have someone try to tell you, oh, your coin is only fine. So that's why you would want to do it. The fourth one here is to recognise top quality coins. Now that is into this sort of modern mint product space. You might go through 500 police C mint mark coins and pick out the 3 best ones in an attempt to get that MS70. So and then get that graded, and the grading is a way of assuring the top graded coins in that particular series. And then of course there are collectors that only collect coins in PCGS slabs, and they look for the highest graded examples of each, and they put them into their registry set, and they can potentially win awards from PCGS or whatever it is. It's like a league table. Not something that I've ever done, but certainly there are people that are interested in that, and it is very big in America. Very big in America, that sort of stuff. The last one is to identify an error or a variety. So PCGS will grade errors, NGC will grade errors, so annex, they add extra cost to those submissions. I believe errors with NGC are somewhere between $50 and $100. Errors with PCGS are about $100 to $150. So why would you do that for an error? Perhaps it's a bit of an obscure error, maybe sort of a slightly rotated double strike, or perhaps it's a double obverse 5-cent piece or something like that, something that could be easily faked. So you might send that to PCGS and get them to authenticate that, so that that coin, when it's sitting in your collection, is assured that it's a real variety. Because of course double-headed coins and double obverse coins and double tail coins can be faked, not usually very well, but if you've got that in a PCGS slab or an NGC slab, then you've got that assurance of what it really is. So we'll just go back to the slide here. There is one reason here that I haven't put on the list here, and that's to get assurance that a coin doesn't have any problems. Now, PCGS and NGC are quite stringent about what coins they will assign a grade to, and if a coin has problems, and by problems I mean cleaning or rim damage or planchet flaws or other detracting, perhaps spots have been removed or whatever that might be, often they will do what they call no grade that. They'll put it in a holder still, but they'll assign a details grade. And so perhaps your 1910 florin will say VF cleaned in the holder. And now why would you want to do that? Because some coin problems are not disclosed by people who are selling them. And you as a buyer, if you're worried that your valuable coin that you're thinking about buying has problems, then you might want to stick with third-party graded coins, because often those problems will be disclosed on the coin holders. And I'll just show you another coin here. This is a 1910 florin that we bought last week, and it's got VF details on the front, EF on the back. What isn't obvious from the pictures is that the obverse has been cleaned. There's hairlines running parallel across one side, and I like to think the best of people, but there are certainly sellers who would not disclose that, or even not be able to pick that on the coin, and as such would sell it as a VF/EF coin, ask a lot of money for it, and then you'd get the coin and probably be disappointed in it. Now, I believe that as a coin dealer, we have an obligation to disclose those sorts of problems to sellers, to buyers. But of course, there's no guarantees that everyone does that. So you as a buyer might choose to get a graded 1910 florin, even in a mid-grade, just so that you've got a genuine problem-free coin. Right. So that's third-party grading basics. It's something I could talk about for a long time, but we'll just wind it up there because I've got to duck off and move some furniture. So thank you everyone for watching this week. I do apologise that we've not got a live video this week. We will hopefully be back next Tuesday. Next Monday's a public holiday. we do have some meetings in the morning, so hopefully we'll get back here in time to do a live video next Tuesday. Happy collecting. Have a great week, everyone, and we'll talk to you next week.